Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, Twitch chat, and welcome back to Let Us Play. I'm your host, Father Evan. It's good to see Bad Rocks, good to see you, Quack, good to see you, Gale, good to see you, Brayard. I think that's everyone. Good to see you all. And Bad Rocks, congratulations, you have won the crown of Firstendom. As Gale says, it's the crown of Spifund, because we're good at counting around here. It's good to see you all. So, yesterday, Kitty C mentioned that salmon flavored licorice was on my way. You will never know how relieved I was to open it and find a package of salmiak. Salmiak licorice. That said, this is chocolate covered licorice with violet. It is made in Sweden. So I'm okay on salmiak. I prefer regular licorice, to be honest, because the texture usually of salmiak is very like grainy. I don't really like violet as a flavor. Potato. Hey, hi, kid. Thank you for the contribution. I mean, salmon and salmiak are very different things, very different flavors. With violence, no violet. Let's check this out. Woo! More like it's like a bitter chocolate Bath and Body Works smell. I like flowers fine. It depends on the flower for eating, though. I don't particularly like the flavor of violet. I think it's a little too floral, but that's why I have the floral mints on the candy wheel. You would trust place that makes putrid fish? Surströmming? Yeah, but they also have smorgasbord. All right, let's... Look how purple those look. Like, they are purple in real life. They look so purple on camera, though. I'm scared. Because in the ingredients, there's licorice root. Okay, that makes sense. Fennel seed. All right, so a second slightly different licorice flavor. And star anise. There are 3 distinct kinds of licorice flavor in this. Nostrovia. Okay, it's more like a milk chocolate, but it's a lot of flavors that don't really go together happening all at once. You try to read the Bible in Latin, but it seemed quite vulgar. On the wheel it goes. The salmiak isn't that bad. Yeah, or if you want a father joke. Sorry, I'm suffering through some bad candy. So I was at the zoo, and there were flamingos. And they were sleeping, with like one leg up, and some people around me were like, "Oh, I wonder why they sleep with one leg up." And I had to turn to them and be like, "Well, if they slept with both legs up, they'd hit the ground." Yeah, that was just like pure violet. Anyway, we're going to be playing Kena Bridge of Spirits, another game where we play as a psychopomp. So let's get into it. Looks like someone needs a pine cone. No, I'm good. Oh, is it a Souls Lights? Oh. Should we just do story mode? You know what? I'm going to do Apprentice Spirit mode because I'm lazy. Dang, that's dark for y'all. Can you see the thing in the middle? Well, we'll just see how this goes. Unique wooden masks are carved to honor the dead. Placed in sacred shrines, these masks gradually return to dust, symbolizing the spirit's peaceful journey into the next life. That's some beautiful symbolism for this world. Not all spirits can travel this path alone. Struggling with the tragedies of their past, they linger and become dangerous. Masters are called upon to help these trapped spirits, and violent manifestations are known as spirit guides. It's very pretty. Oh, you had the wrong version. But glad you figured it out, K-Max. I know you can't hear me, so that's why I give it a thumbs up. Everyone agrees the game is pretty. Yeah, I can see already. Game is pretty. There are a lot of spirit-looking figures around. Ah, okay. I get it now. Virgil's a great psychopomp.
Why have you come?
I sense suffering here, Spirit. Do you need help?
You know nothing of suffering. This is my home, my village. Turn back, Spirit Guide.
Oh, this is very Souls-like, given that the attack button's over his shoulders. It's really nice music. New game, 80%, new game. 20 minutes. Well, we're still technically on world record pace. Hey, Darth. You love this game? It's wholesome? Awesome. I have never played it. I watched like a little bit of it, and I was convinced, like, yeah, I need to play this, and kind of kept myself pretty spoiler free. All runs are on story mode. Well, that makes sense. By the way, I have all the graphic settings turned up to max, except for motion blur. I turned that off because I don't mind motion blur, but I know a lot of people do, so. I crash out on Twitch when trying to load speedrunning records. Well, that's good. We like a Chromebook that can handle more than one thing. Look how pretty this is. Nice musical swell. Yeah, pray for the dead. Let's go. Spiritual work of mercy.
I saw him here somewhere. Where did he go?
Hi there.
So I guess the twins were spirits? Hello, little wisp. Aw, it's so cute. Why is it called Rot?
Hi.
Aw,
It's all right.
Yeah, sure, they're not phantoms, but it doesn't mean they're not spirits. But they're not like the other phantoms we were seeing earlier. Find the rot. Search the area for more rots in the area. Okay. Oh, that's a cool double jump.
There she is. Run.
That one is much bigger.
Hi, Benny.
I wonder if these different rots or wisps or whatever have like different abilities, like Pikmin.
Run quick.
Because they're like different sizes, so. Behold my little globular children. Oh, that looks ominous. Ow! Whoa! That looks ominous. Ow. Yeah, you know, these things happen. I tried fighting the ominous. It controls well, but there's just something about the initial jump on platforms that just... I don't know, there's just something that feels a little weird. More rot. Brought to purify. That's a weird sentence. Okay, we chased the twins back that way. Found one up here. So probably right here. Dance, sneeze, kiss, stand up. Why is the preview video so jittery? Dance, sneeze, kiss, stand up. Hi, yes, the basic commands that have defined game since Mario. Yeah. I mean... You don't remember the secret code to make Mario sneeze? Hold on, I'm getting a phone call. I'm back. Sorry about that. Oh, look at the idle animation. I had a phone call from someone, and I know a family member of theirs has been sick, so I wasn't sure if it was going to be an update on that. It wasn't, fortunately, but, you know. Enemies frighten and rot. Drop action available. L2 is square to find an enemy. Ah, I forgot what attack was. I like the enemy design, having the masks kind of representative. The spirits that kind of got stuck and kind of corrupted. Darn weird disappearing children. I can move certain objects. Okay. So that's that there. Why don't you bring that over to right there? Look at them go. We're good lads.
Can you pick that up?
Okay, so they picked it up. Then what? What is the objective? Right now, we're just following those kids. And we're going after this spirit that's like, you don't know suffering.
Let me help you. I can heal these spirits and restore balance to the forest.
I know you are kind. You sense the power that flows through this land, but you do not fully understand it. Death and corruption are all that remain here.
This land can be healed, but you cannot stay here, Spirit. You must move on.
You are the one who does not belong.
I never said I belonged here.
Never abandon my people.
But you said all that remains is death. Like, if it's all death, your people are gone. Oh, hello, Spooky. Activate my shield at the right time for a parry. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Ow. Ow. I was actually trying to parry there. Hey, look, we got a parry. All that is left is death, and I'm going to add to it. I mean, that's a villain monologue right there. Come, my round children. Join me.
You can come out. It's safe now.
Look, Saya, she cleared away the poison. The little guys can eat it.
I'll hug him and
Love
squeeze him
it.
and call him George.
My name's Kana. What are you two doing out here, alone in the forest?
Don't worry about us. We've been here a long time and take care of ourselves.
I can see that. You both look very strong. Do you know who that spirit was with the horned mask?
We don't know, but when he shows up, the girl's poison grows stronger.
Hey, what are you doing here in the forest?
I'm searching for the sacred mountain shrine. Can you take me there?
Hey, we have an
If you want to
objective.
get to the mountain shrine, you have to help us with something first. Our brother Tara was trapped deep in the forest. We need you to help him.
Great idea, Saya. That'll be easy for her. Did you see what she did to that stick guy?
Help us free Tara and we'll take you to the mountain shrine.
Woohoo!
Come on.
Seems like a fair
Our
trade.
village is this way.
Ew, mushrooms. Dang, that is pretty. Ah, that's quite the village down there. This game is messing with my head a little bit. This looks like an arena to where like enemies would pop out and try and fight you. Ow. I had science. No, no, no. No, no. Rota. Happy feast day of Saint Scholastica, sister of Saint Benedict, and along with Benedict, founder of the Benedictine order. She founded the women's branch. I don't remember if they were twins or not. I feel like they might have been, but there's a great story about them that I love. That Benedict was visiting one day. Oh. I found the hat cart. He was visiting her monastery, which wasn't that far. Karma and upgrades. Great karma. Typing. Okay. So abilities. Anyway, so he was visiting her. And he was like, okay, well, I have to go back to my monastery. It wouldn't be appropriate for me to spend the night in the women's monastery. And she was really enjoying the conversation they were having. And so she was like, well, why don't you stay? And he was like, no, I can't. And back and forth, back and forth. And he was about to leave, so she prayed to God, be like, yo, make him stay. And a huge storm appeared out of nowhere that forced him to study the night. And her response was, well, it seems like you may not always listen, but God does. They were twins. Okay, that's what I thought. I couldn't remember for sure, though. But I think she is a beautiful example of monasticism and the monastic life. And has a good sense of humor, so, you know. Always a fan of that. This is the mask of the dude that we were chasing. Interesting graveyard. And I like that the rod are just like hanging out sometimes. Just like... just chilling. Oh, that water is not a normal color. You know, I wonder if the rot, these little things that these little spirits were collecting, are meant to be sort of symbolic, spiritual representations of the decay that happens in death. But kind of in a more positive sense of a holistic sort of breakdown of the body and the freedom
Is
of
Tara
the
this
soul.
way? The barrier's blocking the path.
Maybe Zaju can help. He's usually at the masked shrine. You'll know when you see the sacred trees.
I feel like we were just there. The trial shrine has not yet activated. Oh, okay. I feel like a tree with a mask in it is pretty special. I thought maybe that's where I'm supposed to go.
See that over
Okay, that's not where I'm supposed to place it.
Right there.
That's weird. It's not letting me place the rocks anywhere. Hey, Britt. Okay, I'm at the Mask Shrine. I'm doing well. And yourself? How goes the job hunt? I feel like I'm supposed to be able to do something. It wants me to investigate, but... I can't interact with anything. Throw the spear. See, I don't have enough of these little guys. Really? That's what I was supposed to do? I thought I had done that. Treat all day Saturday, they wrecked you in a good way, so you're alright? Well, that's good. But continue prayers for the job hunt.
The rot seem quite fond of you. They're usually timid. Something tells me you did not come to our village looking for forest creatures.
Hello, Spirit. I seek passage to the Sacred Mountain Shrine.
Our village is bound to the shrine's energy, but that power faded long ago. Trapped spirits linger here, tangled in the tragedies of our past. You must help these spirits if you wish to reach the mountain shrine.
On my way, I met two children. They asked me to help free a boy named Taro.
I'm not surprised that Benny and Saya found you. They are clever children, and would do anything for their brother. We have always crafted wooden masks to honor those who have passed on. Placed here, the masks slowly turn to dust, aiding the spirit's journey into the next life.
My father was a spirit guide. Our traditions are different, but he helped many spirits pass from this life to the next.
So you know what happens to spirits unable to move on. Take Taro's mask. It is bound to his spirit, and will help you fulfill your promise to the children.
That has some
Look
implications.
after Benny and Saya. Their brother's fate will be difficult for them to understand.
Yep. Those are no longer implications. Oh, wear the mask. Look through it. Open spirit barriers or reveal objects. Ooh, interesting. Of course, Britt. I'm seeing something in this house. Oh, no. Oh, that's interesting. Close through. Thanks again for marking exactly 2 years since diagnosed with depression, spontaneously cured. Hey, happy anniversary of your healing. Of course, we're always people. For Thanksgiving.
What's that? Follow it. Maybe it will lead us to Taro.
Get that.
This village has definitely seen better days. You found spirit mail. I've got mail. Belong to a villager. Return it to the house in their village.
Can you move that for me?
Heal yourself. Ow! You did that on purpose, game. Yeah, I could see something like that taking a while to even realize. But thanks be to God for your healing. No, I don't want to use the rot because I don't need to heal. Stop it! Stop! Stop spotting! You nerds.
Look, Hannah, I know what that is. It's a forest here.
In this form, the rot can attack enemies, destroy barriers, and clear corruption.
Whoa! Look what happened to the rod.
He's so cute.
It's a wiggly water thing.
Does he know any tricks, Kana?
Come on, am I not supposed to clear that barrier? Like, that's clearly the barrier I'm supposed to break. Oh, am I supposed to go with it? Oh, okay. I thought I had to stay by the flower for some reason. So I'll get to your Berkdu in just a moment. Controlling this is controlling two entities is kind of weird. All right, best tip for people trying to figure out Lenten penance, trying to struggle this year. A lot of terms of prayer. I mean, break it down into the three classic pieces for Lenten penance: prayer, fasting, almsgiving. Identify which you are perhaps the weakest in, and make that an extra intention. But find something to fast from, and you know, I know that there's various kinds of fasting, but sometimes and sometimes people use fasting as an opportunity to step away from something that's bad for them, which is good and helpful. But there's also a power in giving up something that we like and that is good but not necessary. Yeah, I think that's why giving up desserts can be actually quite meaningful if we do it the right way. But you know, I identify what kind of alms you can give, be it time or money or combination thereof, and what kind of prayer, and be reasonable with it all. You know, don't try and say, you know, I'm going to pray 5 Hail Marys, a full liturgy of the hours, daily mass. You know, and especially if you don't have any regular prayer life right now, you know, don't set yourself up for failure, as it were. You know, and with fasting, it doesn't have to be from food. Fasting can be from all sorts of things. I know people who fast from
Over
being
here,
on Twitch
Tina,
or
there's something in the ground.
I bet a forest deer can grow here. Right there. Over there.
you know, so fasting from gaming or unnecessary can be an sort of adjective, I guess, around fasting that a lot of people use. Is they fast from an unnecessary XYZ. Well, that's a cute suggestion, Kit. It's expected that whatever we pick is a daily thing, or can it be weekly? I mean, it's really just a spiritual practice. It's not like a there's not canon law section on it. So to that end, I would say it's really whatever is going to be most beneficial to you in your Lenten journey. So for some people, I'd say for most people, it's probably a daily thing, but there are things in our life that we may only do once a week, but we could say, well, I'm going to fast from that, and that's just as valid. You know, it's not the frequency of the fast that makes it better or worse. It is the intention and how we enter into it. I keep wanting Square to be attacked because I play Kingdom Hearts. Ow. This really is a Souls-like. We just fought this big guy as a boss, and now he's a regular enemy. Ow! Ow. Okay, flowers are single use in combat when it comes to healing. You know, I think a good prayer that is actually a great way to kind of meditate upon what fasting means and why we do it. Is the prayer of Saint Ephraim.
The French.
Thank you, Kit, for the gifted sub to Brit. Yeah, Brit, feel free to send me a DM. Okay, I have these hats. How do I equip these hats? That was cute. Free. Yeah, Britt, feel free to send me a DM. Oh, it's getting spooky.
Oh no! No! Saya!
Oh no. Hey, Daryl. I think I have some difficult news for you. Man, this game looks so good.
What did you see when you put on Taro's mask?
Taro is here, but he's forgotten who he is. We need to find 3 relics to help him remember.
The forest is huge. How do we know where to look?
Maybe Mr. Russo can help us. His house is up that way.
It's an interesting house. I like how the map fills in when you get to an area.
Lusu's house is so far away.
And yet
You
so
can see
close.
his lookout at the top of the cliffs.
Okay, so there's these flowers like this, which I'm going to guess is some sort of like grappling hook mechanic. We saw another one elsewhere, and that's where we can get some rot. Look how good this water looks. Like, this game is very pretty, very stylized, but that's not gonna work. That looks promising over there. There's a lantern.
There.
Oh, that's probably what I was supposed to do with that other rock. I genuinely thought my computer was having an error for a moment. Welcome in, Raiders! Raid to the max! Good to see you, Trekkie. Thank you for the raid, K-Max. Did you get it working? Were you able to Kingdom the Hearts? But wouldn't it really be a raid from the max rather than a raid to the max? Surely someone raiding you would be a raid to the max. Got stuff. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, now that you said that, it's like. Porque no los dos indeed. Okay, so maybe I need to be getting more spirits. Or more rot in order to get the next ability to continue further along. I'm glad to hear you got it working in the end. Dun dun. Whoa, weird monkey thing. I don't like that there's not a lock-on button for new Mummy film productions with all the same cast. Like, the same cast as the last one that they made when they rebooted it, or, like, the original, like, Brendan Fraser cast. Whoa, it's big one. This is a Souls-like for Kingdom Hearts players, and I like that. I don't have a stamina bar. I can dodge roll away from everything. Ow. So I don't have to worry about parries. Ah, it's weird monkey things climbing up.
One of Tara's memories. I should see where it leads me.
Can I see the memory? No, why would the mask help me see the memory? Mummy demastered. We really should be releasing more films on VHS quality. I had a professor in seminary who looked like Brendan Fraser. It was very weird.
Look, a tear of the forest. It's a sign of regrowth. Death always leads to a new beginning.
Yeah, he, Dr. Aaron Butts. You can look him up. Yes, his last name is Butts. But he was my Ethiopian professor. As in, he taught Ethiopian, not that he was. You know, St. George by accident. I think I'm the only one in the class who saw it, but it particularly made him look like Brendan Fraser from The Mummy because we were in the special collections room, which was this, like, little hidden room inside the library that was full of various artifacts, including mostly rocks with ancient inscriptions on them. Okay, this feels like a way upward. Let's follow the memory. Special collection is the best part of any library. I mean, yes. What class was it? Ancient Ethiopian. right, you take care, Britt. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Okay. You guys ate some berries. I don't know what that did.
What's wrong with Russo's house?
The trees look funny. Let's keep going.
Well, I think I found the way I was supposed to go. Do I need to be careful here? Because if I slip, I'm gonna slide all the way back down. Although there is a way back up, I guess. I hope no one has a fear of heights. Okay. Now where? Aha. I like the designs of the ruins that are everywhere. Oh, spirit mail. I've got mail. I know there's a lot of opinions on sort of spray-painted ledges in games. And sometimes they can be ugly, but they're also very useful sometimes to help be like, ah, that's the thing I can climb on. Which is their intended
There
purpose.
she is.
Yeah, I can't teleport around
The
like
bridge
you.
is broken. Maybe the rock can help.
All right.
Woohoo! Hurry! I don't think they can hold it for long.
Okay, well, we're gonna let them let go of that because I see area where secret would be. Yeah, treasure chests.
Right there.
Curse chest. Defeat all enemies without getting hit. I didn't know there was going to be a test. Is that bird's nest? Yes, it is. It's a bird nest hat. I don't know how to equip the hats. Otherwise, I'd give them all the bowl.
All right.
Woohoo! Hurry! I don't think they can hold it for long.
This pack is tiny. It looks like it could have belonged to one of the children.
They are spirits of children, after all.
That corruption is powerful. There must be a relic nearby. I need to find another way around.
The forest has become too dangerous, Taro. The village is the safest place for you. If you hurry, you can make it back before sundown. I'll come for you when my work here is done.
I think this storytelling is pretty good, and I think it's intentionally making you uneasy because it's kind of, you kind of know what's happening already, in a sense, like you know the outcome, but you still know that when it's gonna happen, it's gonna have an impact. Loop. Okay, I need to get some more crystals somewhere, move something so it can resonate. Aha!
Right there.
Why don't we put it right here? There we go. Oh, that's a danger pit. Again, the game is flexing with how pretty it is. Ew. Oh, that's not right. Kappa. Kappa's in chat? Ow. Just bow to it, it'll have to its smart bull in its head. Yeah, I don't think it has a simulacrum in wood of that. All pickles were cucumbers, yes. Well, that's not true, because there are plenty of pickled vegetables that are not cucumbers. You better run. Ow. See, I feel like I'm supposed to parry those back somehow, but he never throws them quite directly at you. Oh yeah, I should probably use my little guys to find him. That might help. Did you say you are good at Souls-like? I didn't say I'm not good at... Well, actually I am kind of not good at them because I don't have the patience to learn the boss strategies where it takes 10 hours to defeat a boss. And I don't have the timing to do good parries. I mean, I had to play Player Obscure in story mode. This does not really... The combat in this is not actually that Souls-like, other than, oh, there's boss with health bar at the top. It really is more like a Kingdom Hearts-esque action-adventure. And I like that. prey seals, or whatever it says. Okay, I need a tier. Where do I... Oh, right. Going up.
Hannah, you made it. I think we found Mr. Rusu. Come on, this way.
Can you pick that up?
What if I just jumped down there?
Hey, Mr. Rusu! We've been looking for you! We brought our friend Kena. She's here to help Taro.
That is a cool mask. That is a really cool owl mask.
The
I
power
want
of
that
the
mask.
mountain shrine is connected to everything in this forest. The trees here grew strong, drawing on its energy. And the land was once in perfect balance. But like all things, the mountain shrine follows a natural cycle. One that our village struggled to understand. As the shrine's power began to fade, a devastating famine struck our village. Taro lost his parents, and he was left to take care of Benny and Saya. I should have done more to help Taro. And now I can only watch as his spirit struggles.
We can still help Taro, Rusu. There's a relic covered by the corruption at your house. But I need a way to break through.
That weapon you carry, I sense it holds a deeper power.
The staff belonged to my father. It's been in our family for generations.
He must have been a great spirit guide. I may be powerless against the corruption, but I can teach you a new way to fight it back.
It looks so
To a
good.
trained archer, the bow is simply an extension of the body. A spirit guide's staff is no different.
Oh, a little clipping there. Is this when we get our projectile?
Ground yourself. Feel the energy of the mountain. Draw on its power. Try using your bow on these targets. When you are finished, feel free to practice at the other stations I've set up.
Hold L2 to aim, fire with R2. Okay. It is a superb owl mask. His cloak is really cool too. Those are like, the feathers are embossed almost. I don't like the feathers around his collar, but otherwise, I dig his whole outfit, especially that mask. That's such a cool mask. Columbia declared war on a city-state. Are you suzerain of this city-state? Or is this an... Because I'm going to guess that that's... in Civilization. I hope it's in Civilization. Just met them? Okay, that's definitely in, I've taken up the practice of playing a lot of Civilization while walking on the treadmill. I might try Chrono Cross today, though, because I think I could do a JRPG.
Focus is critical. Fully draw the bow, and your arrows will be more powerful.
I've got a treadmill on your desk on the Switch.
Pull the lever to drop the targets. See if you can hit them before they reset.
Yeah.
Wow, great shot.
You haven't got a treadmill. You haven't got a treadmill yet.
Right there.
Got a chariot from a meteor. If I didn't know Civ, that would be a very weird sentence. Whirlybird hat? What? So I find these, but then I still have to buy them? That's a... Oh, you can equip each... Oh, that's why you have to buy them. You can... Each individual spirit can have a different hat. That's actually kind of impressive from, like, a computer management setup.
Shoot the painted whirlybird to begin. Aim quickly and hit them all in the air.
Great shot, Kana.
Okay, I think I'm done with the training. I feel like I've done plenty of training.
Come on. Over there.
Devour is my children.
Right there. See that over there?
Oops, all training. This is the worst kind of training montage. There's no montage. Well, I guess I can go back to Taro's Fear. There was a bird. There was a spirit bird. Time for replay of Metroid Dread. I've heard good things. There's money in the lanterns. Wait, there's a big old flower there. Oh well. Oh hey, we're back at the house. Gotcha. Ow. Okay, seems like a headshot. It's pretty good against them. Oh, that's a big thing. I'd like to send my rod against it. It was there for like a moment. Ow. That was just unfair. Ow! He hits like a truck even when I'm dodge rolling. What? He can throw it like a boomerang? Yeah, but here's the thing, Steps here. There's instant black. Okay, that was baloney. Spain and Colombia are attacking each other's science strings. And that's when you swoop in and take both of them. Do I have to redo these other fights? I do. That's obnoxious. Oh no, this is the start. I thought I was somewhere else. Early game, see if randos are rough. Yeah. Oh, is this for the, this is for the archipelago, isn't it? Just get someone to give you a giant death robot. You don't need uranium to heal it if you're just... Ow! See, there. This time I was... Run, 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 run! It's gonna be one of those days. So it seems like what I should do is when my little guys are distracting him, just use arrows. Ow! See, like, there was a moment when I could use my spirit. Now it's like, yeah, we forgot how. I keep missing the glowy spot. Okay, I don't know how we knocked the one off his back. See, there was like one moment I could use my spirits. Okay, that one was greedy. Heck of a swing you got there. I don't like that he dropped 3 of the things that like level up our, or that enable our spirits to be active. That feels like there's another fight waiting to happen. What do you have? A knife! No!
I made that knife for Taro when he was a boy. He loved these woods, and I tried my best to teach him the old ways. Consumed by the troubles of our village, I was not there for Taro when he needed me most. I hope we can bring him peace. More relics are hidden in the corruption of the Forgotten Forest. I'll wait for you there.
Open it up.
Level up!
Right there. Right there.
Sorry, Susan, I'm just gonna break your house. Ooh, I can activate my rot twice in combat now. That's actually really helpful. Okay, so that's how I got higher up the mountain. There was a spot that had like a little shrine that looked like Sousa's mask.
Right over there.
Okay, before I activate that, I want to figure out where the corruption is that I'm supposed to use it on. Can't be that far. I wonder if the money is just used for cosmetics for the rot. Which I'd be fine with, but I just want to know. Ah. Oh, I didn't have to take my guy's that far. Oh, well.
Over there.
Finding secrets, finding secrets. Ah, okay. Ow! I walked straight into that. I have no excuse. But that does tell us how the grappling hook mechanic is supposed to work. But I don't know quite what I'm supposed to do. It's like I fire. Ah, there's another one, and we can do some bullet time shenanigans. Well, when we're back at the base of the mountain, which I assume will be at some point because we have to go talk to the... or we have to return to the village. There was a grappling hook flower. Where we can pick up some more rot. Yeah! We did it. It only took like 7 tries. We can put a singular feather on their head. Ow. Hello, new friend. Where was the teleport safe stone? Oh, look, it's a little garden. Just growing little things of vegetables. Okay, I think that is a good place to call it for today. So we kind of have a nice end of a chapter, if you will, in looking for Taro. So that's what we're going to call it. So thanks so much for tuning in to Let Us Play. I've been your host, Father Evan. It's been good to be with y'all today, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Join us again tomorrow for Midweek Minecraft, working on the church in the Cobblemon server. We might do some I need more dirt. I'm going to need a lot of dirt. I'm going to need glass. I'm just thinking of things I need. Thursday, we will be playing more Super Mario World. And Friday, the bonus stream for celebrating 600 followers. Playing Donkey Kong 64 with crowd control, so that'll be a lot of fun. Probably start that around 1:30-ish Eastern time. And probably just kind of jam for a while, see how it goes. But yeah, I think that's everything. So thank you to everyone who's liked, followed, subscribed, given bits, all that good jazz. Thank you for checking out the YouTube and the Discord. And there goes Alethea. And let's see whose life that we can raid into. Gonna send you on over to Utah. I feel like we haven't raided him in a while. Right into the channel. Raid call. He's playing Wuthering Waves, which I think is made by the same people that it's a gacha game like Genshin Impact. But raid call is either Father Raid or Wuthering Heights ? Because Wuthering Waves. I think that's funny. Anyway, hope you have a great rest of your day. Go give Yuha some love. Take care of yourself, and God bless.